One movement changed the laws of a nation. And the voice of the world. In the 1950s and 1960s, the United States faced a powerful internal struggle. A fight over equality, voting rights, and basic human dignity. This was the Civil Rights Movement. For decades after the Civil War, racial segregation was enforced across many parts of America, especially in the South. Laws and local rules separated people in schools, buses, restaurants, housing, and public spaces. These systems limited opportunities and rights for millions of Black Americans. But by the mid-20th century, resistance began to grow stronger, more organized, and more visible. One major turning point came in 1954, when the Supreme Court ruled that racial segregation in public schools was unconstitutional. This decision challenged long-standing systems and energized activists across the country. Then in 1955, a quiet act of refusal helped ignite a national movement.
You need to move now, miss.
No, I am not moving.
This is
A woman named
outrageous.
Rosa
You're
Parks
breaking the law.
refused to give up her bus seat to a white passenger in Montgomery, Alabama. She was arrested, but her action inspired a citywide protest that lasted over a year. Community leaders organized a mass boycott of the bus system. People walked long distances to work instead of riding segregated buses. The protest showed the power of collective action and nonviolent resistance. One of the emerging leaders during this time was Martin Luther King Jr., a young minister who promoted peaceful protest, moral courage, and unity. His speeches and leadership helped bring national attention to the movement. Throughout the late 1950s and early 1960s, protests expanded. Students organized sit-ins at segregated lunch counters. Peaceful demonstrators marched in cities demanding equal treatment under the law.
Want it? Now!
Activists faced arrests, threats, and strong opposition, yet the movement continued to. Television coverage brought these events into living rooms across the country. Millions saw the determination of protesters and the seriousness of the issue. Public awareness increased, and support widened. In 1963, one of the largest demonstrations took place in Washington, D.C. Hundreds of thousands gathered to call for civil rights legislation and equal opportunity. It became one of the most famous peaceful protests in history. During that gathering, Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his historic, "I Have a Dream" speech, calling for a future where people would be judged by character, not race. The speech became a defining moment of the movement. Pressure for legal change continued to build. In 1964, major civil rights legislation was passed that outlawed segregation in public places and banned many forms of discrimination. This marked a huge legal shift. But another major barrier remained: voting access. In many areas, unfair rules and practices prevented Black citizens from voting. Activists organized marches and registration drives to challenge these restrictions. In 1965, large voting rights demonstrations drew national attention and increased pressure for reform. That same year, a new law was passed to protect voting rights and remove many of the barriers that had existed. These legal victories did not solve every problem, but they permanently changed the structure of American law and society. The civil rights movement also influenced other movements around the world. Its methods of peaceful protest, organized marches, and legal challenges became models for change in many countries. Its leaders showed that coordinated nonviolent action could reshape national policy. Its participants, students, workers, clergy, families, proved that ordinary citizens could drive historic transformation. Today, the civil rights movement is remembered as one of the most important social movements of the 20th century. It changed laws. It changed access. It changed history. And its impact continues to shape conversations about equality and justice to this day.